Hello all, hope you're doing well today. Today I'm excited to share about a service learning project with my sport management students where we designed and led a kayaking adventure for Special Olympic athletes. It wasn't just about sports and fun, it was also about inclusion, teamwork, and making a real world impact using the tools we learned in class. So in creating this kayak adventure, we wanted to use the key phases of project management. And so project initiation really begins at the beginning of the semester, or really prior to the beginning of the semester. Really, Dr. Elwood and I worked in the fall working on our spring term and trying to set things up. So establishing the project's goals, your objectives, the scope, and then your deliverables, identifying your critical stakeholders and when you're going to start. The project planning, so creating a detailed project plan that outlines the tasks, timelines, the resources, the risks, and the budgets, and breaking things down into smaller components, identifying the milestones, deadlines, and tasks, as well as developing a risk management strategy, and then implementing the project plan, ensuring tasks are executed as scheduled, coordinating and managing resources, your team members, your stakeholders effectively, and tracking progress to ensure the project remains on schedule and within budget. And then monitoring and controlling. So monitoring performance against some key performance indicators, proactively identifying and resolving issues to maintain quality standards and adjusting plans as necessary to align with the project goals. And then project closures. So delivering those final outputs or conducting a post-project review and documenting lessons learned. So in creating this kayak adventure, we wanted to rely upon the key principles of project management, and that's defining our objectives. So we wanted to clearly identify the project's purpose and the goals, as well as setting measurable outcomes. We also wanted engagement from the stakeholders, so involving the Special Olympic athlete coaches, our community, our university community, as well as the bigger community of Corpus Christi, and to gather support from clubs on campus, as well as our students in our classes. And so with that, also resource allocation, and so efficiently managing our human resources, making sure everyone had their duties and were set up where they needed to be, as well as financial and material resources to optimize the output for the kayak adventure. And something that's important is also risk management. So identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks related to the logistics of the kayak adventure. It is on an open body of water at our university, but also the weather and other potential disruptions as well. And then time management. So ensuring milestones and deadlines are met, and especially those that are tied to specific dates of our kayak adventure. Now there are certain phases of project management. First, those is initiation. We began this early in the semester to give us time to put everything together. And so we identified our stakeholders and began working on our project. And then planning, so developing a project plan, the scope, the timeline, also looking at budget. We really didn't have funds for this, and so it was something that again, pulling resources together, and our risk assessment as well. We use scheduling tools, Gantt chart you'll see here in just a moment, and then executing, coordinating our teams. We did have marketing that we worked on for the project. That was through the university, but also we did our own marketing as well. And then monitoring and controlling, so making sure that everything was on track, and then of course following up with those measurable outcomes. How did we do with as far as our goals were concerned? And applications of project management and sport management, event management, so planning events, competitions, and we can use it also in other areas like facility development, marketing campaigns, athlete development, and community projects, much like this one. And so some tools used in project management, of course, Kanban board, as Gantt charts that you see over on the right, and project management software. And you can see Trello. There are different types of project management tools, Smart Sheets, Asana. Much of it is to help with task management and tracking, that sort of thing. So here is an example of a Trello board. You can see up at the very top, we have, this was actually my KSO club, the Kinesiology Special Olympic Club, and here we were working on an event. You can see up at the very top scheduling, we had activities, and you'll also notice that we're able to delegate tasks with this, scoring the team t-shirts, financing, marketing, and food. So it just gives a good visual, it's all on one board, but you can open these tabs up so that it flows better. And it's really, again, it's a popular project management collaboration tool to help in organizing your tasks, your projects, and your workflows. It's attractive, it's easy. We've used other project management, we've used Teams in the past, and it just was bulky. This makes it very easy. It does operate in a Kanban style interface to make it easy for the lists and the different stages and different task items. So some key features of Trello. You have boards. That was one board. You can create other boards for other projects, and then you have the list, and so you can organize them under a to-do or in progress or done stage, and then they have different cards, and the cards hold the different tasks associated with them, checklist. You can add attachments, due dates, labels, tags, descriptions, comments, and again, it is a means of communication, so it's collaborative. You can assign cards to team members, and they can add comments and mentions for real-time communication. You can share these boards and set permissions for collaboration, so they can edit or they can view. And then there are other power-ups or add-ons that you can add to it with Google Drive and Slack, Jira, and others. We didn't necessarily get into that. And then just customizing, you can customize the fields, the color of the tabs, the templates, and your drag and drop interface, as well as some cross-board platform access with iOS or Android, your desktop, mobile devices, those types of things. As far as benefits associated with Trello, the nice thing is they can see it on their computers, or there is a mobile application, which makes it really nice and easy. Again, for project management, it helps with tracking your deliverables, your milestones, and deadlines. You can create workflows for either Agile or Scrum methodologies that Dr. Elwood has talked about. But it's also important for productivity, so planning daily tasks or long-term goals, organizing personal projects, team collaboration, you're coordinating your team tasks for marketing campaigns and development, as well as event planning. It is free for a workspace of 10 collaborators. Beyond that, there is a charge associated with it. Now, we also utilized AI to help us with decision making and really to help in optimizing our decision making and really enhance our efficiency. Now, as far as applications in sport events, helps in predicting participant attendance or scheduling optimization and resource management, but it can give you some data-driven insights for improved execution. execution as well. So in this class, students were registered in a sports facility and event management class. It is a senior level sport management class and we utilized artificial intelligence to help generate priorities, objectives at the beginning of the semester. And we covered content on Mondays and Wednesdays, and group meetings were typically on Fridays via. This is a flyer created by the students for the event. And you can see they used Canva to help them with the flyer, and they used AI ChatGPT to help them with the vision statement and mission statement. Thought they did a great job with this. So a student utilized Google Docs to help in creating the Google Forms, actually, to help in creating the athlete registration form. Our key objectives were really to engage 20 to 30 athletes along with their family and volunteers. The idea was to encourage mental and physical well-being and building a more inclusive society. So getting outside and in the fresh air. Planning phase, of course, prioritized our registration, risk management, and equipment organization. Here you see we utilized AI to generate a Gantt chart. This was one of the students that did this. And so you can see the task, the duration, startup time, end time, and the different activities. So volunteer arrival, table and game setup, kayak adventure, and snow cone truck arrival. So talking about our volunteers when they should show up, as well as the kayak when things would begin to happen. And creating a Trello board. So in creating the Trello board, of course, you have to sign in. You have to go to the Trello's website and open the app, log in with your account or create one if you don't have one. Navigate to the workspace, and from there you select the workspace where you want to create the board. If you don't have one, you can create one. You create the board and enter a title for it, such as project management or marketing plan, and make sure that you select the visibility. So if you want it to be private and accessible only to invited members, or where it's a workspace where it's visible to all members of the workspace, or public where anyone with a link can view. And then choose a background or image for your board and create the board. These are the different boards that I have used in the past, or workspaces I've used in the past: the Kite Festival, KSO South Texas Challenge, and Sport Facility Event Management class. And creating the Trello board, you set up your lists, and one way to do that is in your to-do or in progress or completed. I did it a little differently. And then you add your cards under those lists, creating individual tasks or items, enter a name for the card, and press enter, and then open the card to add the details, the descriptions, checklists, attachments, due dates, labels, and assign members to those tasks. And then you can customize with power-ups, clicking the power-ups button at the top of the menu to add features like a calendar view or integration with Google Drive, Slack, or other tools. Invite your team members. There you can click and invite people to add to the team and enter their email addresses or Trello usernames to add invitations. Organize and optimize. So drag and drop cards between lists as tasks progress, and you can move things around using labels and due dates and checklists to keep. Here you can see this is the Trello board that the students created. This is for the kayak adventure. You can see on the left side there, really we started out with the flyer, but also that was kind of our agenda, running agenda, and helped us in maintaining our vision statement and mission statement. We had our goals that were set and our main objectives. And you can see some of them talking through things, asking questions. Of course, we had to get permits for the parking lot and the beach. And then our resource plan, so gathering our resources, the kayaks, making sure that we had people in place in different areas, hydration, and registration management. And so I highly encourage utilizing Trello. It's a great way, again, to make a visual project management tool to help you with your projects. And I thank you for letting me join you today. Have a great day.